So, a little video about a thing that I've been doing a lot lately. Something I call the game tick after stack nuking. The name says it already itself. The nukes one game tick after it's stacked. So it's a really fast nuke. I'm gonna be trying to explain it, how it all works. But first I'm gonna shoot it through 10 walls. Currently it's on a 4.3 second clock. Don't worry about it. I've put 20 walls down, so like that. There are slabs down, so basically a feature that I've added to this cannon is it's using the one ref thing. Currently it goes up to barrel height, so you can pre-stack to barrel height with this cannon. And if you're wondering what that whole hopper thing is, that's just for the sound reload mechanism. Oh. Oh, we ran out of one-shot sounds. My bad. Should be last shot. Boom. So, okay. How this is working, it's not really that complicated if you know how to do the normal the normal efficient nuking. So how this is working, you have your power going off, then you have your hammer going off, then you have your sand falling, like it is falling, then your nuke goes off. In this process between the hammer and sand, your sand also starts to fall. So that's how a normal nuke works. So it's doing basically the same thing here, but it's doing it really quickly. I'm using these fast sand plates. These retract within a redstone tick. So if they retract in the same tick as the hammer, they will render in the same redstone tick, even in the same game tick. But since sand gets rendered after dispensers do, it will count as if it fell after. So, meaning you have something falling in the same redstone, in the same game tick. My bad. You have something falling in the same game tick. So what you could do, the game tick after it, you could do the order of entity stuff. That's basically how this whole thing works. Well, how to set the thing up. First you have to put the nuke hammer on game ticks, one game tick after after the hammer, and then you have to set up your nuke. The nuke you do different, this thing you do differently than normal. Normally you have this thing go one game tick before this side, but now this side, like this part of the nuke goes before that side. So this is here on 8 game ticks. This is on 7 game ticks. If I'm correct. Yeah, it's on 7 game ticks. 5 plus 2 equals 7. 4 times 2 equals 8. So that's basically it in a nutshell. I could talk about all the pros and cons of the concept. The pros is it makes it harder to get patched against, because normally people just could click on the stack and they could see where your nuke is, even if they have most of them also have animations turned off, like, so they could see where the sand stack is with a normal nuke. This eliminates it, because it's nuking one game tick after. The game doesn't render the sand in that's being stacked, so you don't see the sand. Another pro is, with the nuke on, is since it's a game tick after it's stacked, you could do some O's or B stuff, like have the hammer as an O's or B hammer, probably turn off a little bit of the nuke and it will just nuke down and stack. Something that's really cool. I mean, I haven't really tried that yet, but I would love to try it. But how to do that is just basically as a normal O's or B. You have your hammer tick off, you have your sand fall, and then you have this tick off. But the difference is between this whole it's similar, like it's the same timing. So right now it's the same, but the only difference is it has to be in the same shot. So it has to be on the second power O's or B. That will probably work. I haven't tested it. I want to test it, but I also can't be asked to do it. So, you could do like a bunch of stuff with it. The con is about it, the one that I've found so far, are these sand plates. These take some time to reload, but how I've set them up is these two pistons push out when the sand is starting to fall here. This sand also starts to fall, and this piston shuts really quickly, but also pushing this sand forward. And these pistons are pushing the row of sand there, so it's in so it gets in here. This is a new thing I'm doing for carpet comps now. I'm just opening the bottom up, so you could do more things. This is a 6-long booster for the whole way until you get here, but this TNT right here is only to get the sand up here, like taller, like higher up. So the con really is a sand comp, and the less layers you want, the longer the comp has to be. If you want only one layer, you have to do either 40, you could do 32, but the comp will be really wide. You could do 43, but you have to do the 3 wide thing, which is really a pain in the ass to reload. Like, I have one of those comps set up here, and that will look a little bit like this, even though it's one layer. This thing above it, that's what it will look like. At least that's the only way I've found it will be working. So that's the con, that's the sand con. Yeah. Another, this is all up to layouts. Because I'm also having boosters here, it will shoot the sand up in this corner, meaning you have to have a piston door, otherwise your sand is going to somewhere you don't want it. The exposure that I'm using on this cannon here is something I call a skull enchantment exposure. So you have a skull and enchantment tables. You could do chess and you gain 0.3 blocks of range more, but you get terrible adjustments, so I think this is the better average. How this works, you have your TNT, you have it aligned to this block, which is the best you can get for it, and you have your sand and TNT shooting one tick before its power goes off, hits the skull and goes down. That's basically how that is working. That's the exposure that I've been using. Another thing, because this is a nuke, you really have to rely on your one-shot sand. Like, if there's no one-shot sand, like any other nuke, it just won't work, and I just realized that I could have put this way higher up. Why? It's my bad. Theoretically, putting it in one... I haven't shot it with a button yet. I hope this works now. On this cannon, I'll just have a red sand detector. If it's below that thing, the rest of the level will turn on. Oh yeah, it still works. Sweet. I was about to say, if adding 1 height to it, it breaks the whole thing up. I was gonna be pissed. Another thing this kind of uses the 1 rev thing. You use 1 TNT to rev everything back up. In this case, it gets everything to stack to barrel height. I can actually show you. I'm gonna disable that and disable that, and I'm gonna fire it. The whole point of this is actually getting more range. This will get more range because this the thing has more delay to it than like your traditional free hammer. You could get it lower, like even drop further, and you still will be fine. I'm gonna destroy this, put a slap down and demonstrate this concept also could slap us, both with the 1 game tick after nuke and the 1 ref thingy. There. So we have a slap here. See, it still works. It goes all the way down to bedrock, which is the good thing. Basically, oh, yeah. This is where it went all wrong where we ran out of red sand. What's going on here? Glue to the ceiling. I don't know if I'm gonna be releasing this cannon because it's a cannon I like and I kind of want to keep private as my own cannon, but maybe I'll do like something different with it and release it. Oh, and what you're hearing now, this is something I did for one shot MC. This is a solution I have for magic sand. You have multi TNT that dispenses sand down. It gets glitched, so it dispenses sand down, so it V-stacks. The only issue is a lot of sand gets lost in it and drops down, so it looks like the sand con breaks at the carpet. So I added a whole hopper system here, and this gets filled. Yeah, there's a bunch of things in here that's coming from the last shot. So that's a thing that you could be doing here on one shot. You don't really have to do this. The top part here. It's just a thing that I like to add on it because otherwise the sand will leak. Like I'll fire and demonstrate. So that's basically what happens. That shot to somewhere like around 100 chunks or something. The cannon without the one red thing already shot up at 80 chunks. I mean I mean not this cannon, the cannon behind this one. This shot 80 chunks, which doesn't have the one red thingy. And this does, and currently it has 1 tick more. This has 1 tick more, so it has 1 tick more range, meaning that's 2 game ticks more range. So this probably has over 100 chunks, which is really good. Overall, another thing I also did for this cannon, I'm gonna break in here, is this. So this is something I stole from the Alien probe, this bottom thing. So how this works, with the Alien probe it's center aligned, by the way. It's not like set up like this if you use the cobweb exposures. So it all gets boosted under this slab, then a booster down here boosts all of this in this ladder. A piece of alignment TNT gets it to this, shoots it to this side. So all the sand, all the powder is already in this block. It gets even aligned further. Then it hits the back of the thing here, the back of the wall, but it has to be here, so this piston pushes it back. Also this line controls the red sand, so that's all, everything kinda in it. For the rest, I'm using a very small booster here, just to not get the sand in the barrel, because I don't know if this is a one-shot MC glitch or a Minecraft glitch, but if you have something in a game tick and you shoot it against not a full block at a distance, it just doesn't go in it. It will just do weird stuff. It will act like if it's a full block. So I have it hit here, then I have like then I have this booster here, which is offset, so everything gets aligned to the same side, meaning you have the same exposure to both sides. Yeah, that's how that works. Yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll probably do more tutorials. The next revision of this cannon will probably have an anti-patch on this. Probably also be explaining that, because that's currently a popular thing. So I'm gonna stop the recording, and I'll see you guys probably in a different video, if I can find the stop recording button.